Welcome to Rules of Villainy, episode 7-6, where 3 new trading card game players quest and challenge their way to competitiveness and discuss their opinions on Disney's Lorcana. This episode will be reporting on the latest news in Lorcana, answering your questions and discussing the hottest developments in the metagame. I'm Villain Vince, joined by my 2 co-hosts, Villain Andy, and the one, the only, the gosh mayor, Brad. How's it going tonight, gentlemen?
Vince, one take Vince there. Just want you guys to know that only took him one try, start to finish.
Oh, I'm ecstatic! You finally read it.
And it only took me this many minutes to edit it. Okay.
I'm sure there's a Mickey somewhere there, but that's all right. We're just gonna roll with it. You get it, Brad. You finally win. I read it just for you, sir. Since
I didn't win tonight in our multiplayer game when we were picking on
that's
each other.
because we made sure that neither of us won that game.
Between Britt on my right beating me, I'm playing Steel Song Infinity mode, and Britt plays Pete on like every other turn, so I can't do anything. And then Vince is just like, "Well, I'm going to take care of your characters." It was fun,
over here, like whole new worlding my 2 freaking Tamatoas.
Almost milled Vince. Almost milled him. He was down to single-digit cards.
So, but yeah, it was fun. I really actually enjoy multiplayer. It's like a nice, break from the competitive 1v1 games we've been playing, because we had just Infinity Weekend this past weekend. Did you all get your whole new world promo cards?
I didn't.
I did.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, but they're on their way.
I got plenty. Some of the stores did not get theirs, unfortunately. But
I was one of them.
But it's okay. Had a lot of fun. Got my whole new world promos. I just want to say, you guys talking about multiplayer. Please, Ravensburger, put out official multiplayer rules. Because there's been multiplayer and multiple DLCs, but the format has been slightly different and each one has not been consistent. And I too really like multiplayer, but anytime I sit down with a group of people to play multiplayer, you never know what you're getting into. It makes it hard to deck build for, and it makes these, weird you end up thinking, oh, well, this card turned out to be really good. I wish I put more of these in my deck, so...
Yeah, what card was it that you were wishing you... I mean, it wasn't the deck you were playing, but you're thinking about,
Me?
Brad? Yeah.
Oh, because Monday night I was playing around with a new just blurple build I was messing around. I threw in a couple of the Grimorums in there, running 4 of Demona, and I got to do some actual shenanigans Monday night against Andy in our Amethyst Steel matchup where, he has a wide board, and I was just gaining lore like crazy with that Demona coming out and exerting everything. I lost by 1 lore. Probably there was a turn a few turns ago where I challenged a set of quests, and I think that cost me the game. But when you can get that book out and then give Demona rush and exert everything, there was a lot of fun. I'd like this. I only had 1 of that book in there, and then we were talking about today in the multiplayer where we had 5 people playing. Like if I'm exerting 4 other boards at one time, that's so much lore coming in. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, it's a card I've having a lot of fun practicing with, and might bump that up to a 2 of instead of a 1.
It's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of books, whether they be the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook or the Cell Book. So maybe I should
Belle's favorite book.
We don't know her.
Yeah.
Let's get into Underworld news. Andy, you want to take this?
Sure. The 25 Days of Villainy Advent is still going strong. We are coming up on day 18, 19, somewhere in there will have just happened by the time you guys see this. So check it out. We open 2 packs. Kirsten and I each open a pack that we get random from our wheel spun, and we show you what kind of fun is inside. So check that out. We're having a lot of fun, and we hope you guys are enjoying it as well.
And we've got coming up the holiday extravaganza Rules of Villainy live stream coming to you live from the St. Louis area, but in our own homes. We're going to have games, giveaways, and more. We're going to have some special guests. We're going to have Mrs. Mayor Emily, our hottest guest ever. And then we're going to have Enchanted Kim and Humble joining us on that. And Andy, that the date for that and time?
That is December 26th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Central. I had to convert it. Sorry, I had to convert it from like Alaskan time to Eastern European time, and then back over to Mountain time, and then add a couple hours. Central Time is 6 p.m. Friday, December 26th.
Vince kicked it to you because he didn't know.
Well, I knew the time. I was a little uncertain about the date. I had the time down, but I did not have the date. So what Andy could have done is gotten the date and then kicked it back for me for the time.
I could have.
And we would have nailed it, and nobody here would have been the wiser.
Or we could just cut all of this out and put the part in where Kirsten reads off all the information like she did last week, because we forgot to tell everyone about this. And we're back. Thanks for that,
Kirsten. All right.
We do have other news. Speaking of
what?
Kicking two extra segments, we Kirsten and I got a chance to sit down with Zach from Top Cut Games out in Arizona, who will be hosting the next CCQ. This will be after DLC Richmond. I believe it is the 17th, the weekend of the 17th in January. But we had a chance to sit down with him and ask some questions about it. We got, so it'll be a quick segment. We're going to cut it in here, and we'll be back shortly after these messages. I'm here with the owner of Top Cut Games, Zach, who is hosting the next Disney Lorcana CCQ in Arizona. So welcome, Zach. Thanks for coming on and talking with us here a little bit about the upcoming event. We're super excited to help be a part of that. We were invited to cast some of the matches. So we just want to give you guys a little bit of information on what to expect. All right. So, Zach, tell us a little bit about yourself and Top Cut Games and how that came to be, and what you do there.
Yeah, so Zach Singer. I've been playing card games pretty casually for a really long time. Been into Lorcana since before it came out. Top Cut Games really just started as a local, hey, I want to play bigger events. Like I'm a competitive player, and Phoenix, Arizona, it's such a huge city, and we have a ton of game stores, but there's not a ton of stores trying to do any large events. So I kind of just said I'll do it myself, and in most of these shops for a really long time. So they were kind enough to let me use their space. We do a 1K or a box tournament or something, whatever, and then kind of grew from there into 1Ks, then to 3Ks. Now we're a separate venue outside of a game store. Doing 5Ks, multiple days. That's all Lorcana. Like it's what I'm personally passionate about, and nobody else was doing anything, so I just decided to go for it myself and see if anyone would follow suit. And then now we're up to CCQ after me being as annoying as possible to Ravensburger.
Yeah, so,
that's awesome.
Yeah, how did that feel getting that final callback or that final email and being told you were accepted as a CCQ from Ravensburger?
It was surreal. Like I think I was at work and I got an email, randomly checked, and it's like, okay, we'll go move forward. And I was blown away. I've been trying to do this since the previous event, 3-4 months ago, and then as soon as we got the no there, it was instantly like, okay, here's my next one. Can we do this? And it's just been months and months of communication, and like I said, me being as annoying as possible to try and get the final okay. And from what I heard was, it was between Arizona and another one, and I did one final reach out. I was like, hey, I need to know do we think we're moving forward? What do you need from me? And they finally gave me the okay. So super pumped. Instantly told a couple people that I, wasn't supposed to tell anybody, but you gotta tell that trusted source.
Of course, that's awesome. That's really great. We'll have to ask you after the chat here for some advice, because we want to try and bring a CCQ to St. Louis as well. And it seems like the persistence paid off for sure.
I guess, I don't know. Maybe I got real lucky, but somebody from Robbinsburg called me, and I did not let go of that number. So
I don't blame you. That is super awesome. So what drew you to Lorcana and hosting Lorcana events specifically?
So to Lorcana, like I said, I got in like at the ground floor. It was actually the year before D23 released the set, and I'm a Disney fan, like very casually.
Mm-hmm.
But I was playing Magic in a store, and somebody at the store had the D23 set, and they were trying to, promote this game, and I was like, I don't care about this. Get this Disney thing away from me. But I kind of like tracked it and kept it going. I learned the rules when they did their videos, and I was able to go to some release events. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can play with my wife. She loves Disney. A very easy entry game, which I really like, and the strategy is really cool. So that's what really drew me to it, and then just kind of kept growing. Like, I'll say, like, Lorcana has taken over so much of my life. I imagine you are very familiar. Everything behind me is all Lorcana, just boxes and boxes of it. Like, the only content I listen to is Lorcana. I don't listen to music or anything. It's all yours and other Lorcana related podcasts or YouTube, whatever. So it really just hooked me from a pretty early, and then I spent all of my money on it.
Yeah, and like you said, there was no one doing bigger and bigger tournaments, so I'm sure everyone in the Arizona area, you said Phoenix, right? Phoenix greater area.
Right.
I'm sure they're all very happy. We've been trying to do a similar thing here in St. Louis. We got that same passion, you just want more and more people. I want to go to a 200 person event in my backyard, so that's really awesome. You said you were very persistent. What was the process like for becoming an official CCQ? If you're allowed to talk about that, was there any sort of weird quirks, any hoops you had to jump through, or how was Ravensburger working with them? I'm sure they were great, but
without getting, and there's not a ton of detail to go into, but there are things like you can't really talk about. But I'd say like Ravensburger is really great. It's just getting a hold of somebody can be difficult. I'm sure they are beyond slammed with requests and people wanting things from them. Like I said, I got lucky enough to get a reply. I was emailing every week, every couple of weeks. I got a phone number, and I was like, hey, you now have to deal with me. I tried reaching out to Coop directly. Like anybody I could, I was being very as persistent as I can, and I'm very timely in those things where it's, hey, every Monday you're getting an email from me, and then Tuesdays and then Wednesdays, as much as possible. But any conversation we had was really great. They were more than accommodating of what we're trying to do. I just think the competition for the event is huge, so it's just hard to get in touch with somebody. But we were lucky enough to do it, and it's just really being persistent and hoping somebody catches that eye. What makes you stand out. Hopefully, for us, I think like childcare was a really big one. I think that idea is super cool. It's a family-based game. I think having that option just made a big difference for us, at least.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We know tons of like whole families that play Lorcana, and it's not always everyone that is super competitive in it. So I know you guys have the childcare and stuff. Obviously, the main event, the CCQ, winning that nationals invite is what is drawing most people there. But you guys have some other stuff going on as well at the CCQ, some side events and things. Tell us a little bit about that. Some things you might be able to do if you aren't, your significant other or someone is going to compete in the event. You got your kids in the childcare. What can you do to have some fun?
Yeah, so you always do side events like on demand, sealed draft. Last time, one of our sealed locals brought a cube with them. So some people were playing a cube. That's super cool. We do like try and bring in vendors that are Disney related or just like collectible related. So Lindsay, who runs all the social media for Top Cut Games, she also does Curiouser and Curiouser Collectibles. It's like a bunch of lounge flies and really cool Disney stuff. So even if you just want to come kind of shop, even for not directly Lorcana related, because we've got Dead Slime and Lilith both do singles and sealed product for Lorcana. But we also have the Curiouser, and some other local 3D printers and just kind of cool shopping. And then we do bring food trucks on as well, so there's lunch available. The venue is at a school, so it's pretty secured down. But we try and make it so you come by and you don't have to leave if you don't want to. It's you don't have to get in or out of the venue if you just want to stay all day.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I love the support of the local community and bringing all those fun vendors in and having some different items for everybody to look at.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say like the biggest thing, like to put this together, is the community. Like all of these things are just me asking other people, "Hey, do you want to also do something?" And I just provide this. I don't even provide the space. I ask somebody else for the space too, so it's great. I just get all the credit for no reason.
You're just the ringleader, you know.
I guess, yeah.
You're the one who sends out all the persistent emails to get them all to do everything.
Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, how does preparing for an official CCQ compare to your regular competitive events that you've put on in the past? Has Ravensburger offered any special help or required anything additional to be done, or are they helping with prize support? Or if you can't talk about that, that's totally fine too. But how does that compare to the other events you've ran in the past?
So for the first part for Ravensburger, they do provide extra, like obviously the promos and the big draw of the Nationals invite. They also do provide some product as well, to just fluff up the giveaway plus whatever else. We always have a cash prizing on site. I don't know anything else I could or couldn't say, so I won't say anything. But they do add what they can. And then just the advertisement on the Lorecast is huge. I got a million messages, or not me, Lindsay, who handles all the social media, done. She got a million messages and tons of follows, all that fun stuff. And then just like prep comparison, I kind of felt like this would be our third large event in this venue where we're kind of doing it all. I'd say after the first one, we had like the core really set down, so it's really easy to just add to that. It's like, okay, we're doing the same thing, and then plus whatever we're adding. I feel like much more nervous on this one, where it's like, we're about a month away. I'm still figuring out every detail I can think of, trying anything new, get some cool fun stuff. We like to do some giveaways, try and find things people like, just make it engaging for everybody. And I'm just like kind of back to the first time around where I'm like, do I have enough? Am I doing enough? Is everybody going to be happy with the event all said?
Absolutely. I know that feeling for sure.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Awesome. So we've got a couple other fun questions for you here. Not everyone obviously lives in Phoenix, and we know people travel from all around, sometimes other countries even, to come to these events. If for anyone traveling from out of town, I know personally I love to hang out and visit the city that I'm in for an extra couple days, maybe before or after the event. Is there anything, advice you give to people coming from into town? Anything to avoid? Anything to must have foods or attractions or something?
I mean, Phoenix is huge. There's anything and everything here, depending how far you're willing to travel. Everything's about a half hour away. It's no matter which direction you go. We're kind of on the west side of Phoenix, I'll say like where the venue is, there's not a ton right there. It's a school, it's pretty residential, nothing too exciting right around there. But anything a little farther out's awesome. If you want to go shopping or anything, there's tons of any direction you go, like shopping centers, strip malls, like whatever high-end fancy stuff, so it's kind of cool stuff. There's tons of gaming stores everywhere, so like you can just search gaming store in your maps and you can find a cool one if you want to stick around, play some locals or whatever. I would say like for me, if I travel, like everything is where am I going to eat? That's the only thing I care about.
Fair.
Everything
Same.
else is just white
Same.
noise for me. So like when I'm thinking travel, it's like what's the go-to, and like for here especially, and in that area, there's a lot of great like Mexican restaurants. I'd imagine a lot of people are coming from maybe New Mexico, Vegas, California, where they might already have really good Mexican food, but always come for it. There's tons of awesome food around, just in general. Plus the food trucks we have are all local, which would be cool too.
Yeah, that's super cool.
How far are you guys from like Mexico? I know there's a lot of people in the Mexico area that in a lot of the Lorecast chats and stuff are like, NA is not just USA, it's Canada and Mexico as well. Do you think maybe we'll see some international travelers come up from Mexico and get a chance to compete?
Yeah, I think I was emailing with somebody earlier today about like how to pay and whatnot, and I believe they were from Mexico, so it's a couple at least, I think, coming from there. I think distance-wise, about 6 hours, maybe a little more.
That's not bad.
Oh, wow.
Depending where you're going to, so it's not far. It's very drivable.
Yeah.
To the border.
That's awesome.
So hopefully we'll see. I'd love to see more come from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that's one of the things Ravensburger wanted to do, was try and geographically put these in places that maybe didn't have the easiest accessibility to something like a DLC or other CCQs. So I'm glad they picked you guys in Phoenix for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I know
I
that
think that was like good.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that may have been like part of what was healthy for us to get the CCQ, is just location, since there was such limited on this side of the country. I think that was a big factor as well.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are really excited about that. So I know that you had mentioned that you were more on the competitive side of things. What excites you most about where competitive Lorcana is heading in the next year?
I've been really impressed with it, just how far it's already started with DLCs in general. Like I've been to 3 DLCs and the Last Chance qualifier for season 1, and I had a great time at all of them. I think they're just super fun. They're run really well, even when there are hiccups. It's still a good event. The Nationals was gorgeous. Like being at Disneyland was super cool. I'm not much of a traveler. I'm not like a Disneyland. I can't wait to go kind of person. Like I said, I'll go to Epcot and eat in Disney World, but that's about it.
Epcot's the best park.
So
yeah,
I've only been once, like for real, when I proposed to my wife. I have a side story
awesome.
for you now. Yes. So I proposed to her there, and I'd never been to Disney World. She had, and we're going through it all. I'm kind of following her lead. What do you want to do? And we're going to all the parks. We're there for like a week, of course. And we go to Epcot, and we go to like a food, like chicken tenders, something quick, easy. We're just cruising through the day. And then right after we go into Epcot, and I'm like, this entire thing is food. Why did we just eat the most generic thing in Disneyland or Disney World? Could have eaten all day right here. I'm so full now. I was so sad. I barely got to enjoy any food at Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot's the best.
But proposed, so it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
Awesome. So yeah, I think that really sums it up. Let's give all the details of the CCQ. I'm sure a lot of people are aware, and we'll have them in the description and everything. But when is the CCQ? Where? Give us all those details.
So the CCQ is going to be at Apollo High School in Glendale, Arizona. I'll have the address here, I imagine. It is January 17th it's going to be through the weekend, so 17th and 18th we'll be having events. I haven't announced the Sunday event yet. It's going to be something a little special just for me. So I'm kind of excited for that. But the CCQ is obviously the big thing. That'll be all day Saturday. We'll go probably pretty late to the evening, and we'll pick it back up for more fun on Sunday. And then, I'm sorry, what was the rest of your question?
Yeah, just the details. That was the date, the place, the time. It starts at what, 9 in the morning on Saturday, right?
Oh yes, yeah. So we're gonna do doors open at 7, registration till 8:45, with the goal to start, pretty as close to 9 as possible.
Awesome. And then I know the rounds and top cut and everything is scaling with the number of folks that show up. So
Correct.
but you said we're going to do that at least top 8 cut, maybe top 16 or larger on Sunday. Everything will be streamed, right? Do you know where you're streaming it yet?
Yeah. So the Swiss rounds obviously will be on player count. I will say we're already over 150 players signed up.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I think we can up the cap a bit more with space. So if we get closer to that 200 that it's at, we can definitely fit some more. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. The top cut will at least be 16.
Awesome.
We will, if we do cap, we will likely do a top 16 on Saturday, with the finals top 8 playing on Sunday. We'll see on player count and time and how we're looking. It's just a final determine, so that's not set in stone yet. Just to be whatever's most flexible for everybody. One thing for me, I've bubbled many times. I don't like it. It's not super fun. So I always try and have bubble prizes as well. Usually some enchanteds or something to give away, so that if you get, all the way to the top end and your points match, but nothing else does, still try and make sure as many people leave with something as possible.
That's
trying
really
to be
cool.
as generous as possible with prizing.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
All right. And then did you have any shout outs? Anyone you wanted to I know you've shouted out a couple along the way there, but repeat those. Any additional shout outs, people who helped you out along the way, people we should check out. Thank for making the CCQ happen.
Yeah, I mean, it can't thank just the community in general here enough. It's really is a community thing. There's a ton of people doing really amazing things. For me personally, Lindsay has been amazing. She runs Curious and Curious Collectibles, but she also does all the social media for Top Cut Games. Some of our local folks, Shannon, she helps with a ton of vendors and just acquiring things. She seems to know everybody, can always do something. Travis, he makes all of our 3D printed stuff, a lot of our prizing, our trophy. He does amazing things. Our judge staff, we've had most of the same judges throughout every event. Alfonso is going to be our head judge. He is amazing. Probably a million other people I want to thank. Slime, Mark, the Dave, if anyone knows, amazing Lorcana player. Just want to give him a shout out in general. Julio, Christian, Joe. Could name 1,000 other people, but so many amazing people that's making this thing happen.
Team effort.
Like I said, I just point and ask for things, and somebody says yes, and it's great.
Awesome. Well, we have one last question, a fun one here that we like to ask all of our guests that come on. Kirsten, you want to ask the question?
Yeah. What is your favorite Disney Lorcana villain?
Best villain for me or favorite, it's always goes back to Hades. I love Hercules. And kind of the thinking villain, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Always just struck me right.
Hades
Making
is a
it
good
feel.
one. So are you on Team Hades is the next big bad in Lorcana?
Yeah.
You subscribe?
I thought it was gonna be Jafar beforehand, just with some tease, but he's got to be coming.
Yeah. But yeah, Hades is definitely. We have a big battle in our Discord about who the next big bad is going to be in Lorcana, and I'm on Team Hades for sure.
I'm on Team Hades as well.
You got my vote.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, Zach. you mentioned it a couple times on social media. Top Cut Games. You have a Facebook page, Instagram. We'll make sure those are all linked down below. Thank you so much for inviting us to help cast and promote this event. We look forward to watching it and participating in it, and we hope everyone out there goes and checks them out. And if you can't make it to this CCQ, I'm sure there'll be plenty more amazing events where that is. So definitely check them out. And thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. And now back to the podcast.
And we're back.
See, that took no time at all.
See, it took no time at all. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'm excited because I have not yet seen it. So,
Yeah, same here.
But also at that, I believe at that same CCQ, we've got some special Rules of Villainy guest hosts.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yes, we will be casting alongside. I believe Lorcana Muses are the hosts, the main hosts of the evening, and they have invited us to guest cast a round or two. I haven't gotten my my
assignment yet. Your book yet?
Yeah, they haven't given to me the details yet, but Kirsten and I had the pleasure of casting one of their previous events they had out there, and it was a ton of fun. We had a great time, and we're very, very happy that they were able to, that they invited us back, and we were able to join them. So I know they're also working with a lot of other content creators out there. So be sure to tune into their Instagram and probably all the other things that they actually plugged in the video segment you just watched. But I'm sure they'll be announcing more of the other guest casters, if you will, as we get closer.
Yeah, Brad, you got a piece of news in here?
Yeah, one more thing, an event happening locally here. The Set Championship on January 3rd at Impact Gaming Center is a triple case tournament, Set Championship as well. It's what?
It's my birthday.
Is it?
January
is it
3rd.
actually your birthday?
January 3rd is my birthday.
Well, it's going to be a happy birthday tournament for Andy as well. But we're going to be live streaming that both here on the Rules of Villainy channel and the Impact Gaming Center Twitch channel. And it's going to be a banger. I hope it's a bunch of locals show up. Even if you're out of town and you have the means to travel, come check it out. It is a great store, a great place to play the game, stream the game, and some great content for you. We've had plenty of live streams there in the past, and I can't talk tonight. Looking forward to doing more in the future. So definitely check that out. We'll have a link in the description for the signups down there, as well as the event in Arizona. And yeah, really excited for all of these.
By the way, I just want to point out that a non-zero amount of Impact Gaming Center tournament winners that have been streamed by Rules of Villainy have won Golden Mickeys.
That's true. Just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
That's
it's
true.
a non-zero number. All right. I won't say what the number is because I don't want to, like flaunt around how many people we know with Golden Mickeys. But
Andy can cut in the right here the Kramer meme that does that's true. But yeah, that wraps it up for Underworld news. We got a lot of great things going on, and you should check them out. And the best way to do so is to make sure that you are subscribed, because I see that you're watching, and I see that you're unsubscribed, and you need to fix that. You need to correct that. We need to address that, and you also then there's a little bell icon. Looks like a bell. You just got to hit it and you'll get notified so you don't miss any of the great stuff that we're doing. We really appreciate that you do that. And with that, let's head off into Constituents Corner with the mayor.
Let's go. Our first question comes from Julie. She asks, this has probably been asked and answered before, but what is your favorite ink combo to play regardless of the meta? Like if meta or competition were not a factor at all and you just played what you really like, this can be answered by anyone and doesn't have to be on the pod. But guess what, Julie? We are on the pod now. We're going to start with Andy. What is your favorite color combo?
Well, I mean, I don't think we would have, named our mascot the way we did if it wasn't Ruby, the Amethyst Dragon, right? So Ruby Amethyst is kind of my diehard, but honestly, I'm an amethyst loyalist, an amethyst.
Yep,
No.
yep, we'll take
Whatever
it.
works with amethyst, I'm down to try out.
Yeah.
Sounds
Who
fun.
doesn't love card draw?
Yeah.
What about
I
you?
mean,
Best 3
What about you,
words
Vince?
in Lorcana. Draw a card.
I mean, Andy and I agree. The basically kind of ditto Andy. Although what I will say is I really like one of the first decks I put together in Lorcana was a Ruby Sapphire deck. And mostly just because I love the one, blue's my favorite color. And 2, I really, really loved the Brave Little Tailor Mickey, and I wanted to build a deck with that card in it. Was it good in set 1? No,
Okay.
it was not. But I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Little did I know that deck would become eventually a meta defining deck for a while there.
Yeah.
Although it has fallen out of the meta for basically since rotation. So because they heard our boy. They heard our boy Hiram, who we finally got to see a little bit of this past Infinity weekend.
We should do set
Too
1.
much of.
We should do a set 1 at night at LGS. Go back to set 1.
I've said that before. I think
That'd
it'd be
be
crazy.
fun.
I'm down.
Crazy fun to do that.
I think Ruby's.
But I'd be remiss to say my colors have to be Amber Ruby. I have so much fun with the Simba Mufasa roulette of that deck and the ramp that comes with the
McDonald's.
the Amber side of it, McDonald's, if you will. And even if you don't want to do that, you can have a lot of fun with the racers as well. There's two different ways to play Amber Ruby. The racers are just as fun. I did want to kind of blow your guys' mind and say Amethyst Steel, but only because of the brooms. I think brooms are always fun to play. Yeah, I think I'd have to pick ultimately Amber Ruby as my 2 ink colors.
You missed it, Brad. I was playing Amethyst brooms earlier before you got there, and a multiplayer with just Ron and Britt.
Oh, really?
Infinity brooms.
Yeah.
So much fun, man. I'm going to max rarity at one day for sure. But it is not this day.
All right.
Let's move on to the next question from Jackalope. He asks, for each color, what's a must-have staple 4 copies of in every deck? We'll start with Vince this time.
Oof. So
2 inks each. If you pick 2 inks, and then we'll just follow suit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave Andy to have Amethyst because I know that's the ink color he wants the most. So I will take Emerald.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite ink color. Of which I would say none. No cards.
0. There are no Emerald staples.
It's like you just said it was blue.
No, I would say I think Go-Go is a good card in Emerald. And then I would also probably say I mean, these days I know people are really on the Prince kind of Philip combo, but I really think also Curse Merfolk is another card that's kind of just a 4 of.
But it's
I think those are probably the 2 cards I would put in Emerald, and then I'll say Sapphire because
I was going to do Sapphire. Okay,
that's where we're gonna go. Sapphire is harder now, but I think Cinderella is probably one of those cards.
Disagree. 100% disagree.
This is not your turn.
Whoa, we're not. We can't let this be broadcast.
This is not your segment, sir.
You can't say Cindy before Sale. Sale is the go-to draw and ramp.
Oh.
Wait, am I answering this question, or are we like outsourcing this question to everybody?
I'm just saying, you pick Cindy, bro. That
No. Halt here. This is not up for debate.
Why did you let him go first, Brad?
I did not expect this kind of return here.
Listen, I'm just saying now in the meta, okay? Today. I
still no.
Listen. You still say no?
No, Cindy's overrated.
Cinderella? You think Cindy's overrated?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think Cindy's overrated?
One, I think Sapphire Steel is pretty far out of the meta, and I think even Sapphire Emerald, a lot of decks don't even play Cindy. because it leaves you with few cards in your hand. And
Right.
you have to have crappy cards in your hand to get better cards. You'd just rather probably play a Donald Duck, draw more. I don't know. I'm not a Baja player though, so like maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they love Cindy. But I feel like it's in maybe it's like a preference thing.
What were you gonna say? Something like Tipo? Tipo is a 4 of
Sale. Brad said it right. Sale is the
Sale is
if you're banning
the
a card
first
in
one goes
Sapphire,
away.
Sale is the one that everyone goes after, I think.
Yeah, because Tipo comes from your hand, Sale comes from the deck, and you draw and get to ink again. I mean, they both come from your hand, but you get to
but I
draw
mean,
to
there are upsides and downsides to that, though, right? So, like the upside for Sale is you get to draw a card, but then you ink and it has to be an inkable. Whereas Tipo, yes, you ink from hand, but it doesn't have to be an inkable card. But you also then get to use the ink from the Sale. You don't get to use it from the Tipo. I don't know. I tend to like. I agree. Card draw. We always talk about card draw being like kind of the key defining characteristic of a lot of cards and giving value.
Pinnacle of drawing a card.
I think what I would say is if I found myself more consistently being, and it just could be I'm not the best player here, which is true. I'm not. If I found myself more consistently being able to utilize that second ink, I think I would value Sale more than I would Tipo. But honestly, to me, I kind of put them both in very similar categories.
In current meta, but imagine a world where you have 8 one-dropped items that all draw you a card. And then one turn after you ramp, you can eat those items with a small rat inventor who will then draw you 2 cards and 2 more cards every turn.
Without question. Let me put it this way: if this is Infinity, I would be saying Hiram. I'm gonna. You know what? I've got another controversial opinion here. You know what the best card in Sapphire is right now?
What?
Spooky Sight.
It's underrated for sure. It's the
Is
current
it a 4 of in every Sapphire deck?
No, absolutely. No. If you're looking to brick your hand, absolutely do that. Absolutely if I'm playing you and you're on a deck, please put 4 in, because then I will win.
Hades has an argument in Sapphire too, right?
You know what? Hades is probably a good one. Anyway, I've gone on here. I'm gonna kick it off to you, Andy.
I just want to. My whole point. I'll give it to Brad, but my whole point here, and I said this in the Discord, is I do think that while this is a fun exercise, and I appreciate your question, Jackalope, but it really depends on what your deck wants to do. There are an ink like Amethyst where it gets much closer to having one objective that Amethyst brings.
I think he knows that. I think this is just a fun exercise to go through.
Yeah.
So, Brad, you want to answer the question?
Yeah, I'll do Amber and Steel. Steel's really easy because Pete is number 1 there. 4 of Pete. I mean, some people run a little bit less, but I think 4 Pete is good in an action-heavy meta. And then I was torn between Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist.
Of a Raging Fire?
I was torn between...
Yeah, I was going to Strength of a Raging Fire better be the number 1 card.
I thought Pete would be number 2, or number 1, but I was torn between Captain Hook and Strength of a Raging Fire. But Pete for sure.
Hook is just like okay.
Pete's okay.
I mean, Hook is a Rafiki. It's the same as like a 3/1 Tinkerbell. It's just something to play on one. It's
but like he's a big threat. Like I do like the Mulan, the 2/1 Mulan, because she comes out and does the
3/2
filtering, but like
Oh no, the 2/1 Mulan
or 2/1
or the 1/2 Simba
but,
that I think is rotated out.
But I think the challenge from the Hook. I mean, he's been in almost every Steel deck since set 1 because he just comes out, and I talk about it on the meta report every week. How like it's rare to see a Steel deck without a Forceful Duelist in it. But
maybe
so that's my Steel, and Amber. I'm a little. I'm not sure if it was Infinity. I'd say Cindy and Ariel. Like if they're doing Steel Song, but then there's the aggro version that might do Tiana and Daisy or something. So or Rapunzel as well. I think in current,
literally every Amber deck, right?
Yeah. In current, I would say Daisy. because she's just a 1/4 that's hard to deal with at first, and then I don't know,
any
maybe
current
Lady.
Amber decks?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Not really, not really. Honestly, but this is
Lantern,
why I think a
Huey.
lot of this is Andy's point about this being very conditional is a good point.
Yeah.
You look that last set, you say something like Pete, and I think I would probably I would hard disagree because Pete was basically in very few of the
Certainly not 4 ofs.
Yeah, and especially not 4 ofs.
Amethyst Steel played usually 2 to 3.
Or none.
Or none. I mean, there's definitely
none.
definitely played none, yeah.
But now that we've moved into a more action-heavy meta, especially one like Baja, which is particularly you end up with it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But anyway, Andy.
Oh, what? Yeah, my colors
Amethyst,
are
Ruby.
Amethyst and Ruby. Okay. I mean, Amethyst is probably just Genie, right? Genie is always like a good card to play in almost any Amethyst deck that you're going to play because, it's Genie, draws a card, threatens the board.
My how the turntables.
Yeah, it would be Rabbit if it was Infinity Trust.
100%, yeah,
Greatest card
100%
ever
Rabbit
printed
is
in
the
Lorcana. That's why they had to rotate it out. It was, watch, Genie's gonna get reprinted. They're not afraid of Genie. Rabbit, they're afraid of. And then
I want Rabbit to bounce back into the meta. I want it reprinted.
Never know.
Ruby, honestly, probably Diablo. 2 cost, Uninkable, 3/3, Quest for 2, Diablo. I think
Over something like Headless Horseman?
Headless Horseman
Maui
is
Shark.
just good. Maui. So
Shark is a good one
Maui
too.
Shark is a really darn stinking good card, but you have to build your deck around the card.
Yeah, that's
essentially, like it has to be at least close to the centerpiece of your deck. And I just don't think there is currently enough good supporting pieces around Maui Shark. Currently in the current meta, I think Diablo is at least for me, the thing that would draw me to playing Ruby and would probably be a 4 of in any Ruby list because that's just such.
What about Lumiere?
Lumiere is also a really good one. It is less valuable if you're playing like a Ruby Sapphire list where you're still trying to control or Shark, right? Like you don't need Lumiere if you're playing Shark, essentially.
Right. Yeah, you're trying to
It
figure
might still
out.
be in the same deck. Like I know we saw Aiden playing that in his Ruby Amethyst list at the LCCC, but
And the answer for Infinity here?
be
Maui.
prepared. Be prepared. For
Oh,
sure.
I'd say Maui Hero to all.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you run 4 Be Prepared, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like to run 4 Be Prepared because
you're a monster.
Of course.
The best song in Disney,
but
all overall, so can't argue with it.
I mean, the Maui Hero to all, though, you don't always run 4 of either. It kind of fell off a little bit when there was stronger control cards and
But that's why you also run Maui's Fishhook.
Maui's Fishhook is
but anyway.
Yeah.
All right. That's that question.
Yep.
Next
Final question from Mr. Gary himself. He asks, question for the show: best and worst cards with the boost ability. And I will start with this one. I think we'll all
I was going to say, I
that.
think we all know what the best one is.
The best one, and I think the Lorcana community as a whole will all agree that Cheshire Cat, Inexplicable, is not only the best boost card, but one of, if not the best cards in the current set. My worst boost card, I think we're all going to have different answers. I'm going to do a controversial one just based on me as a person. I don't know in what situation you would ever play the Scar, truly prepared. Like, unless you're doing some kind of strength manipulation shenanigans or whatever, all he does when he comes out, whenever you boost this card, put a card onto this character, opposing character gets -5 strength this turn. So the way the game is running right now, I don't know when you would ever want to play this 5 cost Uninkable and utilize that boost ability. He is a 6/5 in Quest for 2, but maybe not the worst boost card, but it's the first one there I was like, I don't know when I would ever play this. Or I'll wait till the end, but there's another one that stands out as well. What about you guys?
I think there's a lot of really not great boost cards.
They're
However,
interesting, right?
they're interesting,
Like,
yes, and I think some of them are traps. I think there's nothing wrong with printing not great cards in a set. Not every card can be a banger, right? Like most albums you listen to, not every song is like a jam, right? They can't
Yeah,
all be that.
That's why they sell top hits albums
Right,
later.
exactly. They would never sell a greatest hits album if every song was the greatest hit, you know?
Yeah,
So,
right.
or every album is the greatest hit.
but also, you know, sometimes it's like your favorite TV show. It's not great now, but wait till you see next episode, right? Then it really starts getting good. So some of these we might come back to, you know, haunt us if we say they're not great. But I think the Jasmine in Sapphire, that whenever this character quests, if there's a card under them, remove up to 3 damage from each of your characters. Like that's not nothing, right? Like that's pretty decent, being able to remove all this damage. But when you compare it to something like our best boost card, the Cheshire Cat, not, you know, would you rather heal 3 from all, which probably don't have a ton with 3 damage or more on them, or would you rather heal 2 from one and also do 2 damage to another? You know, going around resist and everything like that as well. So it just seems very, very underpowered in my opinion.
What about you, Vince?
I would say the Fairy Godmother.
Really?
Boost 3.
What?
Whenever you put a card under this character, you may banish chosen character. If you do, their player may reveal the top card of their deck. If that card is a character or item card, they may play it for free. Otherwise, they put it on the bottom of their deck. Now, you ask why I say that?
Yeah.
It's in order to get this, you're expending 7 ink.
Okay.
Right? So you
Hades.
Say you play it on 4, you play it, then it survives.
Yeah.
And so you boost it next turn. Yep, you pray to Gantu that it survives. You play it, and hopefully you target something valuable, and you get a total whiff off the top of the deck.
Yep. Strength of
So you are
Raging
now in a total gambling plant here.
Well,
and I think, that is, I just don't think that is a great mechanic.
what is Disney
I think she
Lorcana?
has
It's not
potential.
gambling, right?
Yeah.
What
I
happens
think
every
in the
time you
future-
open one of those packs, Vince?
I think she has potential in sealed decks in the future. I had a lot of fun with
Listen.
sealed, but it was hard because a lot of people build their sealed decks to be character heavy. And so a lot of times they were hitting big characters that I wish they hadn't, but sometimes they hit the bad ones. And then you know what? She just
Think about this against Steel Song.
Yeah. But
Think about this
What's
against Steel Song. It's like 21 targets in the deck that would hit, that would go to the bottom, that are all very good for your opponent to have, and you could remove any of their characters. Just get rid of them. But
I think she has a place.
For me,
But
I
not
look at
good.
I look at
I
this.
think the thing is I think the thing is like in a meta where she is relevant, my guess is there is likely more removal, and so you would have to play her at 7 to get an ETB effect.
Right. Well, right. I think I've looked at her, and she's uninkable, which is a problem because there's a lot of decks that you really just can't play her against because she's just really bad. But if you think of her as a 7-cost removal, like another option to Hades or Vincenzo or something like that, I've considered it. I don't think, with, like Brad said, the character heavy meta, with like Amethyst Steel being out there, you're just kind of trading a 2 or 3-cost character or something, and risking like hitting a bomb. So
I think that's the
imagine,
that's the big risk, because you could
imagine you just start your turn and you're like, all right, I'm gonna Fairy Godmother your genie, okay, and they hit a Demona off the top, and your whole board's just exerted, and you're like, oh.
And they get to draw 3 cards.
Yeah, and then they draw like 3 cards. They were top
That's what I'm
decking.
saying. Like, there's a lot of
There's
a lot of ways I feel like this card goes wrong. I mean, honestly, like I know this is I think this is controversial, so I get why you're like that. Because honestly, my initial answer to this question was Gaston here, but I actually I think this is the card.
Limited.
I'm really surprised nobody said Aladdin. Aladdin, I mean, he is inkable. He's 4/4 with Reckless, but his ability when boosted, if there's a card under this character, your characters with Reckless can exert to gain 1 lore. So basically questing. So it works on himself. But like, how many people are playing multiple Reckless characters to and getting that kind of effect, right?
I would honestly not I would consider this card slightly more than some of the others we discussed, like the Scar or the Jasmine for real. For real, I think is the worst one, but just because this Aladdin's a 3-cost 4/4. 3-cost 4/4 is pretty decent. I mean, the Lexington is much better, but Reckless, what else were you gonna do with it? You're gonna sing a song, you can still do that, right? Like, you can still sing with it. You just can't quest, which a lot of times you're not doing with those kinds of characters anyway. And hey, maybe this is one of those ones in the future.
Yeah.
Get a lot of
all right.
And that's it. That's it for Constituents Corner. If you would like your questions answered, please feel free to comment below. Join our Discord. We have a Constituents Corner channel where conversation happens with the questions being asked before it even reaches the pod, or tag us on any of the socials at Rules of Villainy, and hopefully we can get your question on the air. Back to you, Vince.
All right. Let's get into the main segment, and we're going to start off with Infinity because we actually had our first Ravensburger officially wide supported Infinity event. I know there have been side events at DLCs, but this is the first wide Infinity event that we've had out in LGS stores, and we all competed. What?
It wasn't supported in some of them because the product wasn't there yet. Like mine, but I alluded to earlier.
But you're gonna. I think the store has them now, though.
They have them now. Yeah, he let me know.
Yeah.
Brad tastes awfully salty. The podcast feels awfully salty in here. Brad has seasoned us.
Listen, I'm taking it in stride, but I was really upset when I was found out. When I found out a few days before that they hadn't arrived, my first thought was we've known about this event since July, right?
Yeah.
What's these delays that are stopping it? Why, I knew the whole Hand family was coming, and to have to tell the kids that there were 5 or 6 kids there that day they did know ahead. Stop it. They did know ahead of time, since I let everybody know in the community Discord, hey, unfortunate situation here, but it's a real big bummer, right? That we essentially had a free event. We had 20 plus people show up to play in this event, and I couldn't give them anything for their attendance at the time that they were playing. So it was kind of a bummer, but we have the cards now, and hopefully in the future we can be better equipped for that kind of stuff, because it's just a bummer, right? It's a participation card, 4D cards, that we didn't have. And anyway, I don't want to linger too much on it. Overall, I think
Speaking
it was
of that
a lot
event,
of fun.
I co-won that.
Oh
event.
yeah.
I co-won
congratulations. Congratulations to our very own Andy taking that down, taking that down with Blake.
I was too afraid to
Blake basically made another run in Infinity.
Blake the
with
Infinity
that Amber
Wizard.
Steel aggro deck.
So I guess we know who to watch for that Golden Mickey in Indianapolis is Blake.
I was glad he was willing to see that's the one way I can maybe win over on these kids is stamina, right? They're too young. They eat a little too much sugar in the early afternoon, and he seemed a little tired. And I was like, "Hey, you want to split the pricing? So because I would have got I think I would have got smoked.
Yeah.
I would have got
smoked you.
I was telling Kirsten when I was playing her in the round before, and Blake had come over and said, "Oh, well, I'm playing the winner of you for all the marbles," and I was like, babe, I might just concede to you now because I don't think I stand a chance against him. But I was playing the Sapphire Steel items, and I do want to give a shout out to Aiden, who was my first round opponent, and also a shout out to Brad, the tournament organizer, for not starting the clock, because I played about an hour and 20-minute long round.
It was not that long.
It was so long. You didn't start the.
Well, gee, I wonder. You're both playing.
It was a Sapphire Steel items
right?
mirror match. With
every round goes to 5 cards left in your deck.
There. Absolutely. I went down to 4 cards in my deck the one game. And then I won, luckily, on turn 5 of turns. So we had played the whole game out. Brad finally came over and said, "Time's up. We're going to turns." And it was turn 5 was my turn, and I won the game on the Tammy dime.
But
it was one of the most fun games of Lorcana I've ever played in my entire life. But here's the thing,
Brad, is I wasn't even there, didn't see this, but I can already tell you that I know the reason they went to time isn't because of the decks they were playing, but because Andy took too long. Because I've seen Aiden play, and Aiden plays way too fast.
No, we were both playing fast. Hey,
yeah,
I am on Team Lorcana chess clocks. Okay, all right. I play fast, and I know what's up.
Not as fast as Aiden does.
Certainly. No one can keep up with that speed and decision making. Okay?
Reminds me, I can't believe you didn't let Blake avenge his brother in that finale there.
I would have just conceded. If he said he wanted to play me, I would have been like, "All right, you win." It was one of those
Andy was fighting for that
situation.
Andy was fighting for that store credit.
Which, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Game Night for offer. This was a free event. We made it free. I just wanted to have the community come out and have fun playing this Infinity event. No stakes really. And Game Night was generous enough to donate $30 as the prize which Blake and Andy split. So
30.
Shout out to them for doing
30,000. It wasn't a $30,000 playing for. What? Joking. Huge thanks.
But yeah. Right. So Brad, you didn't play in any of the Infinity events then?
I played at Game Night. I was able to.
You did?
And I told everybody, I was like, hey, technically by the rules of like a tournament like this, I should not be playing. But because this is a free event, I brought donuts for everybody. We're just having fun today. And it was especially a consolation of not having the promos. I was like, I'd like to sit down and play with you guys as well. And I got cooked first round by Mikey. Mikey's on Amethyst Steel. And he was when he saw that I was playing Steel Song, he was so like deflated. He saw it and I could see like his happiness just like fade out. He's like, "Oh man, you're playing Steel Song," and I'm like, and I felt bad because I won the die roll and I'm doing all the Steel Song things, and then I gassed out, and he came back and did what Amethyst Steel does and just plays all these 2-cost evasives. He got the Tink, he got the Genies, all this stuff that I'm top decking for and can't answer, and he ended up winning. I ended up winning game 2 on the play, but game 3 just absolutely cooked again. And I'm like, Mike, and of course he was elated again, everything was happy. But I told Tab 2 rounds or the next round, because we only played 3, his mother, to the audience who doesn't know, I told her, I was like same story that I just told you guys, where I saw him deflated. Usually I would just throw the game for him. I was like, I didn't throw it at all. He just straight up beat me, and he was 2-0 on the day when him and the rest of the family had to leave and everything. But it was so happy. I was so glad to see the kids having a good time, and can't wait to deliver the cards to them.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I honestly, like, to be fair, like, this wasn't a very like serious event. It was really for folks to go out and have a lot of fun. At Fortuna, we did we was competitive in the sense that there's pricing at stake and stuff. We did like store credit, pretty cheap buy-in, which was great, and we had a decent turnout there. And I have to really give a shout out to Ryan on our one of our listeners and friend of us who put up this card that I'm holding up to our listeners. This can't hold it back anymore. I want to see if I can get it into focus. There we go. We were playing a game and he was like, he pulled this out and he's like, "If you win this game, this is yours." And I was like, I can't do that. That's like, you can't do that. He's like, I pulled, 2 of them. This and I was like, "Are you sure?" And it was so nice. And honestly,
I'm glad you
really
won, Vince. That's crazy. Like his Elsa frozen enchanted card for your frozen enchanted card, like winner take all. That Vince didn't hear that part of the deal. That Ryan put up the can't hold it back anymore, but he wanted Vince to put up the first chapter Elsa. Yeah. It was pink slip for pink slip here. Okay,
this is such a gorgeous card. And it definitely is in a good home. So, but I really appreciate that. But it was a lot of fun. It was great to play with cards that we haven't been able to really, play with since the rotation happened with Fabled.
Since
It's good to get out my boy Hiram.
Mhm.
And put him in decks. I played 2 different decks that day. I played a Ruby Sapphire items deck, and then I also played at Bodax. I ended up playing Sky's list for Sapphire Steel with 1 additional card. So it was actually 61 cards because
Was it Spooky Sight?
It was not Spooky Sight.
The 1 jump.
It was not 1 jump.
I added a 1 jump.
So what was it?
It was Alice.
Alice?
Oh.
The word one or the...
No, the item. The banishing item.
Alice banish an
item.
What? You mean Ariel? Whenever
Was
you
it
play
Ariel?
item, Redium?
No. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
Oh, the new Alice.
The new Alice, yeah.
Banish an item
and banish an item.
Chosen item into the equal,
accidentally adrift. Yep.
Okay, instead of Cusco or Hideaway.
Cusco or Hideaway. I should have actually put Hideaway in because
it's cheaper, but it doesn't get
cheaper.
you lore. Yeah.
Well, but also Hideaway hits a location.
Yeah,
and this only hits an item.
Yep,
that's
fair.
And so I should have Hideaway would have been a better one, but I just wanted something with flavor
like that.
in it. So I added Alice accidentally adrift.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. It didn't do great.
But
I'll be honest.
Interesting.
I didn't. I had like almost no practice on that deck at all. Like I definitely would have been better had I played my Ruby Sapphire deck, even though I think Sky's deck is better in the format. Just because it's the deck I'm much more familiar with than all the kind of lines of play. And I think my play style typically tends to lend itself to wanting like more hardcore hard removal. And that's something that Ruby Sapphire has. Even especially in Infinity, you've got all kind of you get your brawls back. You've got Be Prepared,
Medusa,
you got Maui. You have Medusa, Tremaine,
Sisu.
And you got a whole Sisu. Yeah, you got a whole bunch of options that you have.
Plus new ones.
Whereas
Headless Horseman, Spooky Sight.
Headless Horseman, yes, Spooky Sight. Whereas the Sky's version of Sapphire Steel isn't really. It's more character heavy, I think, to build up for use characters control to build up items and use your items to win.
Yep, it's just hold them off.
Just
keep them from winning for a couple turns.
I honestly would have. I realized a little too late in when I was playing Kristen, and she was just wrecking me with her Amber Steel song deck, and I had 1 out because I had enough items on board. I just needed to find Big Tammy. If I had found Big Tammy, I would have won the game. But she had Whole New World 1 away from me, I think.
Inked one earlier.
And I had inked one earlier, and I thought I had a 3rd one in the deck.
Yep.
And I didn't. There's only 2 in that list. And so I had no out whatsoever. There's no way. And all the options were gone for me. And I was so deflated. And I think Annie and I were chatting afterwards, and you were like, yeah, that's why I added a 3rd one.
Because the mirror match against Aiden, I had drawn all of the cards in my deck, basically. And just throughout the game, he had a Hades in his deck as a one of Spice in there, and so I had to start. I realized I couldn't play my Tamatoa freely, and be able to keep it out there, and maybe what is he gonna do? Double Zeus it, right? Like after I've seen a couple of Zeuses come through, I could just play Big Tammy, but no, he has Hades, so I'm like counting my Tammys. I'm like, do I only have 2 in here? I'm thinking, did I play 1 jump? There's no way I 1 jumped a 3rd Tammy or something. Sure enough, only 2 Tamatoas. So I did add a 3rd Tamatoa. I tinkered around with a couple other things because I played in 3 Infinity events. I played basically card for card Sky's List. I think I did add a 61st card of a one jump, just to shore up the ramp onto. I wasn't really as thrilled with Cindy as
I wasn't either, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you say that. I've now played that deck a few times, and I find myself like there are too many Cinderellas.
It could be
in
really
this
good
deck.
in the mirror.
She's a 4 of in every blue deck.
I knew. You know what's funny is that what's so funny about that is the moment I said the 4 of and knowing what we're going to talk about in this segment, I knew like the future me was going to have a real problem with this.
But yeah, the Cindy felt like the weakest card, but it also when it worked, it felt really, really, really strong to be able to do the amount of things. But so like it kind of felt hit or miss. So I reduced that a little bit. I tried.
Would you go down to 3 or 2?
Yeah, I think one time I went down to 2, and then I brought it back up to 3. But I also tried. I added the one of Hades Spice, like Aiden had, and I tested out Dig a Little Deeper. I figured 2 Scrooges can sing Dig a Little Deeper, or 2 of your 4 drops, right? You have a lot of 4 drops that you're sort of going for there. And then I added more Might Solve a Mystery because I felt like that card was really, really strong. Very, very villainous. I think would probably be a good word for it. But yeah, I feel like I added something else in there that I was trying to tinker with. Oh, I also messed around with the numbers of Robot Queen and Ingenious Device.
Ingenious Device.
Or
I'm surprised that
Ingenious
card doesn't see
Machine.
more play. No,
No.
Device.
Are you sure?
Device. No, it's Ingenious
Yeah,
Device. Yeah. I just
Okay.
played it tonight. It's I really like that card. I like it better than I like Robot Queen, but it's just more expensive and uninkable, where Robot Queen is at least inkable and cheaper.
In a format where you could just banish it with Hiram or Bell, you
Yes.
still get the 3 damage from it.
Yes,
It's
that's
just
huge.
absolutely
That's-
insane. Yeah.
That is honestly one of the coolest, like really like flavorful things of how it synergizes.
That's why I focused on your Hiram tonight when we were playing multiplayer, because you had that Ingenious Device out there, and I'm like, that's just a free smash the next time you quest. So I wasted 2 songs to get rid of your Hiram, but I also knew I was going to be wheeling you again soon. So part of me later on was like, should have let him get the draw. So like even if he does take out something else,
No.
you had extra cards thrown away. But that Ingenious Device, that 3 damage was really scary, and I'm like, well, I can't let him do it for free, so we're gonna do a Zeus and a Let It Go, or let the Storm Rage on that Hiram.
Yep.
But I won a game that I almost certainly should not have. It was just absolute insane luck. Where I actually struggled with this twice. I played it twice, both Toms at Wild Growth, were playing Sapphire Steel, like Kiwi style list. It's really kind of annoying list with Ward and Alice Pluto combo. Gantu had Gantu in there.
Did I have the Cogsworth too?
Yeah, Cogsworth.
Probably, yeah. The whole Harlan Sweet Special.
Yeah, the old Harlan Sweet Special. So it was definitely really, really annoying. But I was able to. It got to like 17 or 18 lore, 17 lore, and they put a warded character and they quested, and then I challenged it away, and they were at 19, and they played something, I removed it, and then they played a Pete, and I was like, oh no, they're at 19, they played a Pete, and I thought to myself,
yeah, what do you do?
I did have a Hades, but I might have already played it, or maybe I had to put it to the bottom. There's a couple times where I had to put
Ingenious Device would do it.
And I was like, I have an Ingenious Device in my deck. If I can just find this card, and I'm playing Sapphire Steel items, so I think I like Popsicle, Fortisphere, quested a Hiram, threw away a Popsicle, drew 2, I couldn't play a Sail, but I looked and looked, but eventually I got the Ingenious Device and I played it, and I was like, man, that was the one out. And I think it was the last possible chance that I could have gotten it. I was like, oh, there it is. Super lucky, super lucky. But this card, like, it's just one of those things that in Infinity, I mean, this is a set 10 card, right? And it really has no place being played in the set 10 meta at all. Dealing 3 damage is not very strong. 5 ink to do it in the same turn. Wasting a turn
Or
with an uninkable.
Play Bell for free. And
I guess Bell is still in the meta, so you could potentially combo it with that. But like even in how good it is with Hiram, being able to throw it away with Hiram.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
You
in
still
Infinity,
only played like 1 or 2 in the list. I think Sky's List had 1. I think I might have tried 2 in one of the events, but it was just one of those things that like felt super broken. Like you're just like, wow, this doesn't feel
you just
very
get it
fair.
back with Tamatoa too.
Like, and then I'd have infinite recursion of this. I'm like, this really doesn't feel right. 3 damage per turn and draw 2 cards and gain a lore. Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the blue steel in general, right? Sapphire Steel.
That's what
when I did
say.
my meta report for the week, when I gathered up all the findings from all the stores over the weekend, 5 of the winners, technically 6, because Michael did Fortuna and Bodex, were all Sapphire Steel, and they were 4 of them were items list, and 2 of them were the Kiwi ones, and it's just. What do you do about it? Like there has to be a ban list or something before we pivot to like an Infinity style format, right? I know there's 2. I don't know. There's 2 sets in between, so I know there's going to be a lot of balancing and stuff there. But like watching you and Aiden play on the one Infinity event that I got to go to, and then seeing the results of all the other Infinity events, I'm like, Blue Steel is clearly far and away the best deck in Infinity.
And this isn't the first set we've seen this. This is also a recursion of like what we've seen out of Fabled as well. Yeah. With Sapphire Steel also being a dominant deck in the Infinity format that we've seen.
Yeah. I feel like Amber Steel had a little bit of I also think
if it goes fast enough,
I also feel like Infinity weekend there may have been a little bit of skewing of the numbers because a lot of people I talked to, myself included, played Sapphire Steel, not necessarily because it was the best deck, but because it was a strong deck. Obviously, I didn't want to play something silly, but I really just, wanted to do the most amount of things that I don't get to do in core, right? Like it's like turning all the cheat modes on and like, in the racing game and just
what did they call that thing when we were kids? Is like the Game Genie or whatever?
Game Genie.
Game Shark.
Game Shark or Game Genie. It depends on the system.
Yeah, it's the system.
I had one of those.
But yeah, I do think we're gonna have to see bans are absolutely something that's going to have to occur.
Gonna be your boy
the question
Hiram
is
again.
When and what? And I think probably we will see bans after Richmond. Would be my guess that we'll start to see the development of bans, because I just don't see how. I mean, of course, unless Winterspell, like new sets can come in and they can shake up the meta and stuff, but I just don't know particularly what shakeup can occur to stop the dominance of one particular deck in the meta. And the answer I think we've seen is really like the Hiram being a key kind of component to that. That I think is probably the one, and they just may take the same route that they did in Core Constructed and ban both Hiram and Fortisphere. I kind of hope not Fortisphere, but I definitely think our boy Hiram is also going to find himself not allowed in the Infinity format. That would definitely be my bet going into Indianapolis.
Yeah, they could just print cards that like have no relevance in core whatsoever, but are like just super overpowered in like that balance out Infinity. In fact, we may or may not talk about a card that is completely worthless in the current meta, but is insanely awesome in Infinity later in this show. It's a mystery if we will or not, but
we might rewrite it, but
I just I think you could. This is obviously a silly example, but how about a one cost action or a character, just a good character, a decent static character that when you play this character, banish chosen flavor Sam. Okay, banish chosen inventor. How about that? Right? Like
there you go.
just something easy that now like it's just like this hard counter to Hiram, and like you're like, well, nobody plays inventors in the current meta. There's like really none. It's like Rafiki, right? Rafiki being immune to hyenas.
Yeah.
That is a set 45 card, right? Like that card is not of this era. It's way ahead of its time.
I do think the only problem with that is I don't think the problem in Infinity is that you can't remove Hiram. It's that he gets a
his value
pretty excellent value on the ETB effect, and I think that's the harder part of that, which
Opponents
is why like
can't
I think
play inventor characters. Boom.
Yeah, I think I think straightforward.
One cost.
It is just one of those things that like Hiram probably has the biggest target on his back
for
the Infinity format. Again, like I really do hope they don't go overboard. Like I really do hope they ban the minimum amount. Like I understood their reasoning for why they banned Fortisphere in Core Constructed. I don't think that card is like overpowered or for like really any like is not. I don't see any reason to particularly ban that card in Infinity.
At least Sapphire Steel probably remains really, really strong even without it, because if you think about it, I don't remember what the cards are now. But what are the Wish.com Hirams that we have?
A wardrobe.
Wardrobe, right? That's one of them.
Yeah.
Choose and discard an item, draw 2 cards. When you have, and I guess that's actually doesn't synergize as great, but the Monsieur Dark, right?
Yeah, say it.
Monsieur Dark. He has the same Hiram on Quest ability. Plus Tammy's really strong. Medium Tammy.
Happy Tammy.
Happy Tammy. So in my experience against the Kiwi style deck, they didn't need Hiram, right? They could draw cards from Dock. They played Dock. They could also draw cards just from a Popsicle or a Fortisphere. And then they also really like to play Popsicle or Fortisphere into Bell on turn 1 so that they can potentially threaten the board to keep things off of their Smees and their Alices and then their Pluto, right? So you would still allow Sapphire Steel to do those relatively unfair things, and I think the best solution, and I apologize to whoever told me this or whoever I'm stealing this idea from because I heard it discussed, I believe at Wild Growth, is the idea of basically turning errata-ing Fortisphere, an errata on Fortisphere that when you play it, you draw a card and discard a card. Because that's really Steel's identity. That's what it should be. It should be like a Mulan or a Simba or something. When you play this item, you may draw a card and discard a card. And in that case, then it might not be as oppressive. You might still do it, right? You might still say, okay, cool, I'll cycle through 1 card, no problem. But it might balance.
It's still in Infinity though. It still does its effect on 1 though. Whether you draw the card or not, you still have 8 chances of getting that bell out on 1. So
there are plenty of other 1 cost items in Steel, right?
Sure. That cannon.
I suspect what they would probably
the Queen,
do.
Robot Queen, Shield, and the cannon.
I suspect what they would probably do in that instance, though, if that's the route they would go, is they would just probably ban Fortisphere and then print a card that did that. Like there would be just a new card.
But there would be that would have ramifications on Core Constructed, though. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad card in Core Constructed, though. because it certainly would. You think about cards that matter for your cards in discard, and think about like Namari, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Like
there's
good synergies for that.
It might. I guess we're probably too far away from items being able to come back into the meta. We still have some relevant items, but it would just be Bell, I guess. You're right. It's probably just Bell that this would benefit the most.
Yeah, it's the one cost Singer 3 that was equally a problem. Being able to get that out so quickly, they rotated out Cindy for good reason, because it's so oppressive to have a Singer 3 on turn 2 to just deal with whatever. You talked about it with the Kiwi, where you have 8 chances to get Belle out on 1, and then on 2, she can sing a song for whatever you have played and take that out, and then she's just at 3/3. That is just a force that's like, all right, you're gonna have to run possibly multiple things into me, and I'm just going to keep singing yours away. It takes such an early commanding presence on the board, and hard to really bounce back from.
You have to draw a card, though. The more I think about it, if you don't break even on the exchange of your 1-drop, I think that is too punishing. I want a 3/3 on turn 1, like a Bell, right? A 3-cost 3/3 on turn 1 is really, really good. But if it costs 2 cards from hand plus the one I inked, right? But 2 cards for that combo, that's rough if neither of them are replacing themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is that worth it? Or would it almost, at that point, I would start exploring other options, potentially like we did before, like Moana plus a captain, right?
Yeah.
Or just maybe those 3/1 characters or something like that.
But yeah, I mean, I think we all agree, though, right? Like something's probably gonna have to shake up depending on what comes out in Winter Spell.
Yeah,
really being the make or break. But and we do know, at least that Winter Spell, I believe, is going to is going to be a limited heavy set. So
I have hopes that Wilds Unknown, what it's called, right, is going to be to infinity and beyond. I think that
I like that.
Sometimes I think that, like, this is the I think of these ideas, I'm like, this is way too good. You have to do this, of course. Like, maybe we make some CCQs Infinity leading up to the DLC in Indianapolis or whatever. That we have more Infinity events, or an Infinity set champs, or an Infinity set. They had the limited set because there's not really much going on, and then we have an Infinity set. But then I kind of think Ravensburger had this plan like 2 years ago, long before we started complaining about various things that made them change their minds about various things and shift course. And maybe I'm asking too much, but that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But I mean, I will just say, like, I really do hope that there is more support for Infinity format from Ravensburger.
It's not even support.
It's gonna be a DLC.
Support in the sense of a ban list and things like that. But I just literally lost my train of thought with you saying that. It's the incentive to play it. Right now, like, there's no like, you can play Infinity anytime you want, but like when the focus of the events is all core constructed and everything, there's no there's no real reason to play Infinity unless you just want to play the cards you want. And we've tried to fire it off here at the stores. Like, I know TCS has tried to have an Infinity night, and nobody really shows up to it, unfortunately. And if there's more, like you said, events where they give away a free card or something, that was one of my complaints that I bring up earlier, was that the card was just a promotional thing, or a participation card. So we saw here in the area, with all the plethora of stores that we have, my list of like 22 people at the start of my tournament on Saturday ended up with like 10, because after a couple of rounds, they're like, well, I got my card, I'm gonna take off. And that could be on the stores for not having more prizes to play for, but a lot of people, what's that?
But did they get their card?
Not yet. Yeah, yeah. Stop it.
Sorry, I was
But
just trying to get you
no, you're
riled up,
fine. Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, but it's one of those things where I think hopefully in the future there's something more to play for than to just show up and get your card. Like I was surprised more people like Vince. Even I texted you. I was like, come up here real quick and play around before you go to Fortuna and whatever. And you're like, no, that's really rude. And I'm like, kind of, but like this is a free event. I just want people to show up and have fun. But that's what they did, and they just bounced around. And so there was. I don't know. I'd like to see more of like a community-driven event where everybody goes to one place, which it can't be the case, right? When we have so many stores, and it just, I don't know what I want, but I feel like there's ways to make these kind of events better than just people showing up and then leaving, So
yeah, I didn't want to do that to you though. Show up and then just leave.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't
mad.
That
I was like, I'm peace. I got my card. I mean, placeholder for the card. I'll be back later.
I had people message me like, define like show up, and I'm like, well, show up and play around at least. Come have fun. That's what this is supposed to be, and that's what they did. They played around, and they even conceded. Even if I don't know if they won or not, but they gave the win to the opponent to try to win the $30 prize.
Yeah.
So
more prizing, better prizing. Then you would see. More people show up. That's really kind of what it boils down to. I think Ravensburger has proven they're not willing to spend the resources for a second place playmat, so they're probably not going to do random Infinity event playmats and other fancy things. But I do think maybe Infinity set champs, or they're doing an Infinity DLC. But I had a thought. Let me ask you guys this: what if every DLC was Infinity and Core, but you could only sign up for one? They simultaneously ran 2 1,024 person tournaments, both of which had the same prizing, both of which had the same Worlds qualifier, Continental qualifiers. Sure, I know the numbers don't work out now, but this is for next season, right? Next season, they're going to make the numbers for people going to Worlds count. First off, they would definitely sell out both, because if your preference was Core and you tried to get a competitor badge for that, but you didn't, you would definitely then get you would get in line for the other one. You still want to go, so what do you think about an idea like that where they do both, either or, whatever one you pick?
I think they need to figure out how to have these signups a lot better first.
Okay.
But assuming in an ideal world where you could just log in, sign up, and for your event, I think it'd be interesting. I think they have to increase the cap. They'd have to get bigger venues, maybe, but maybe not the venues itself. But I'm
just saying, like the not
just
worry about the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Just the idea of having a DLC not be core Infinity, right? And each of them have like this opposite bigger side event kind of thing. What if there was both an official event that mattered to the highest stakes? Because Vince said earlier that they not including these side events that they had, and I thought to myself, well, these side events aren't that small. I mean, Blake played 7 rounds, went 6-1, and won more tickets than his brother did, Aiden, getting a golden Mickey, right? So like these aren't small events. They're 300, 400, 500 people. Yeah. But like, what if they were like exactly on par with, the other main event? What if they just filled 2 main events of 1,000 people each instead of one?
They have 2 production crews and everything.
Assuming they could work. Assuming they could work out the logistics of it, right? Like logistics aside, which I have a lot of those same questions that you do, Brad.
I feel like
and I'm sure
Andy doing it too.
Andy does as well. I think it makes a lot of sense. In fact, it actually made me. So let me ask this question. So I was talking to Ron and Britt, and they were talking about a different card game that they both enjoy. That congrats to Ron, won this past weekend on, which is Riftbound. And they were talking about how Riftbound has 2 set champs. They do one at the beginning of the set and one at the end of set. So what you could do for Lorcana is you could have an Infinity set champs and a Core set champ.
Rip my calendar.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying too.
That would be. So the beginning of the set's kind of weird in my opinion, just because like I don't like this. I don't like the idea of like day one tournaments and stuff like that. That gets I mean, maybe I just need to get good, right? But like that really gets me anxious. Like you want me to figure out a deck early and then like figure out the cards I need and then find them that stinking day and then like
100% relate because I'm gonna have that experience going to Australia for Winter Spell. So and I'm already anxious about it. And Winter Spell, I haven't even seen a single card in Winter Spell.
It's a limited format, so it'll be fine. Wait, is it Winter Spell? Is it Wilds Unknown?
No, it's Winter Spell.
Winter Spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, what I would say is I think for Lorcana, what you would do is if you did like release set champs, you would probably prioritize Infinity, and then at the end you would do core because you would give some time for the core meta for that set to develop. So because that way what folks could do, which people already do, right, is maybe they add 1 or 2 cards from that set into their Infinity deck. And then they play. But that would be a way for stores and LGS to support and Ravensburger to show that there's support and give some relevance to Infinity. I think, Brad's right. Like there isn't a lot of, when I was talking about this Infinity weekend, honestly, the way I kind of did it is like, just come, have fun, enjoy, play your cards. This is like we're setting it up as a tournament structure, but we're not playing. It's not playing for any glory here. You get the card by showing up, Vince. And everything else is for fun. And I guess your self glory of winning any type of sort. But
entirely why I was lenient with Andy and Aiden in the first round. It was like, I forgot to set the timer, but also like we're just having fun, guys. Like it's not serious at all. Half of these people are leaving after a round or two.
But we've talked a lot about it limited, and we're going to get back into talking about core constructed next week, which we are going to have a regular episode in addition to our Christmas special. That's right.
What?
Am I right about that?
No, no, not at all.
We're not doing both?
I don't think so.
I thought we were doing both.
Next week is Christmas Eve on Wednesday, Christmas on Thursday, and then the live show on Friday night. Yeah.
The live show will replace our show, but we will have one more show before the Richmond DLC.
Okay.
2 more shows.
All right.
One more show?
Two
more shows
we'll have
before
one.
Richmond. Yeah.
I guess we'll be firing one off as we're on our way to Richmond.
Yes, we'll be firing one off as we go to Richmond.
Yep.
So we'll be talking more about that. But we wanted to kind of spend some time talking about Infinity. So any last thoughts from either of you about the Infinity that we did this weekend?
I'm surprised we didn't see a whole lot of red-blue. Like everybody wanted to be prepared and Shark and Maui and all that stuff. I know Cody played some red Sapphire Ruby, but
I was torn between
I did get.
I really wanted to be prep.
I
really wanted to.
I played it.
But...
I played it, but honestly, like the Sapphire Steel is just really.
It's
really
too good.
good.
It's way too good.
It's too fun.
How about we move
too much fun?
Move into talking about why it's so good.
Let's move on to this week's villain of the week.
What? Me?
Sorry.
Apologies to Gantu. All hail. This villain of the week is a 4-cost song, or not a song. It is a song. Let's start this over.
Coming in again.
Geekable song might solve a mystery
or rewrite history.
Woo!
DuckTales.
Woo!
Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal up to 1 character and up to 1 item card and put both of them into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Art by Rachel Elise.
Let's play a little game.
And I feel like
let's play a little game. All right. You look at the top 4 cards of your deck, but you actually opened a portal to another dimension where every single Disney Lorcana card ever printed exists. You get 1 item and 1 character. What are they? What are you pulling out of that interdimensional portal? So basically, you could see any combo in your top 4 cards. What are you pulling?
On 4, or I guess maybe on 5.
Whenever you play it, doesn't matter. Whenever you play it, at any point in time in the game, you play this card.
If I I don't know. I wasn't prepared for this question. My first thought went to a popsicle and a bell, and then if I'm playing
Okay.
Blurple, she can sing Friends.
There you go. All right, Vince,
so-
what would you like to see?
Probably I would like to see Lucky Dime, I
Okay.
think.
And
Um,
what goes great with Lucky Dimes?
I would like to see a Tamatoa.
There you go. There you go. Medium or big?
Ooh, that's I think medium because I want to play that dime for free.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. But you know what? There's really no wrong answers because
Yeah.
what if you had said you saw a popsicle and a Hiram? Wouldn't that be a juicy combo?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. What if you saw like, your fourth item of a popsicle or Fortisphere and a Scrooge McDuck? Well, that's getting played for free this turn.
Yeah.
I gotta take that,
What's crazy is Scrooge can sing this song. You can find Hiram and Popsicle, play the Popsicle, draw a card, play the Hiram, banish the Popsicle, draw 2 more cards,
Yep.
and then you're just
Yep.
cooking.
You are just sailing along.
No,
In
no,
fact,
you-
actually, you might play a sail while you're at it in this whole combo.
Yeah, you are playing a lot of cards in a very large amount of unfair ways, if you will. Very, very broken. And it's just, but like we hinted at this before. This card, you couldn't make this card work really in the current meta. I don't think so. Like you talk about Bell being still available. There's plenty of 1-drop items, but they don't draw you a card, so you're wasting the item. So like it's just you're literally saying I just need to find this like crutch card for Bell. It's and so it's a shame. Maybe you could be able to make this work in a Blurple that is playing something like Ink Runner and Woodchuck Guidebook. Maybe, but like in Sapphire Steel where you're playing 4, 8, 9 1-drop items, usually somewhere around there. The 4 Ink Runners, an Ingenious Device. This always hits.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's really great about this card, in my opinion, is you may not always get both, but you are going to get one
For sure.
And that is 100% guaranteed.
You could see all 4 strengths. You could see like 2 strengths and
like if you got a
something.
whole thing of songs, I guess you could whiff.
Very
and that would
unlikely,
be really
though.
bad. But I think
Speaking
that's super unlikely.
Speaking of whiffing, just a quick tangent for 2 seconds here. I did not miss whiffing on songs with Ariel.
A single time?
What's that?
You didn't miss a single time?
No, I did.
Oh.
What I'm saying is I don't miss whiffing
Oh, you
because it
don't miss
happened
whiffing.
so many times this
Yeah.
weekend where I was like, I got 18 songs in this deck and I can't find one of them. It happened tonight in the multiplayer game. Anyway,
I whiffed
but yeah,
3 Scrooges in a row, and then a 4th Scrooge like 2 turns later against Tom in my winning in.
oh my
That
god,
was really rough, but it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vince is
But yeah.
right. You're never like hard whiffing on this. That would be like,
insane.
does hypergeometric math. Really improbable.
Yeah. And honestly, in a deck like the Sapphire Steel items, your likelihood, I think, is pretty high that you're actually hitting both.
Big time.
And when you think about it, like the perfect way I think is to you get that Scrooge on board. You maybe even played that Scrooge for free,
Mhm.
and you can use that Scrooge to then sing this song, because by that point Scrooge has really done his job.
Other than threaten the board, right?
Right. Yeah. And you're just you're on a roll, and really honestly, a really great card to see set 10 that doesn't see play in the metagame, but we are seeing in the Infinity. And honestly, I tell you what, I think this card might even be good in a Ruby Sapphire items build too.
It's possible. I think Ruby Sapphire is just not as consistent as the Fortisphere. It's really the Fortisphere. You know, because
Right, because you're doubling up your
one drop
one of
cantrip items,
yeah,
So
and stuff. You know, I mean, I guess you could argue that like the addition of Ink Runner, but that's also
2
being
drop.
run. But there's a
Yeah.
2 drop, so you're adding another drop to replace itself, and you know.
So if
but
you-
I mean, evasive isn't a huge problem in Infinity.
Certainly not in
that I've
Ruby
seen.
Sapphire either if you're running a shark.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's items, you're not running the
But you're
shark.
running shark.
But you can run Maui's Fishhook. But you know, it all came too fast, in my opinion. Like a lot of people like net deck Sky's list for Sapphire Steel items,
for sure,
or use that as a very strong base. I could tell, myself included, and it's gone, and now it's gone. Right, like now we're talking about it here, and there's probably people who are wishing we were talking about core constructed for Richmond, which we're gonna have to get back to soon. But it's the holiday season, so you know, be merry, okay? You know, it just it won't matter in like a couple. By the time Infinity matters again, none of this will really matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the
Iron
thing
will
is
be
what's
banned.
great about this is folks can go and bring all their extra cards and play with family over the holidays, friends, and you have a whole bunch of cards that you can play and have fun with.
They might solve a mystery, even.
Yeah, or rewrite history.
DuckTales.
Woo. And with that, let's move on to the artist showcase.
We got Rachel Elise here. We'll have a link in the description for their art. 8 cards in the game, 2 of them being reprints in the Dig a Little Deeper and Casa Madrigal.
Dig a little deeper.
5 enchanteds. 5 enchanteds, starting with Donald Duck, the Flustered Sorcerer. They have to have 25 lore to win the game. The hero Hamada, Finders, Keepers, and a couple locations in Radigan's Party and Bad Anon. But yeah, overall, a small library, but a good one. This Might Solve a Mystery is really good. Royal Guard is seeing a lot more play now, too, with Woodchuck Guidebook. Gets him beefed up quite a bit for favorable trades. But yeah. That is it. And like I said, link in the description if you want to check out more art by Rachel.
I had that Donald Duck played against me in one of the Infinity events in a Blurple list.
I love it.
And what I realized and what they realized is that when you're Tammy diming for like 27 in one turn, Donald Duck doesn't really cut the bill. Just close, like good idea, but maybe if Donald Duck said you need to like 40 to win, then like you buy another turn.
Yeah, could you imagine?
But it was like
just
always
the game by double.
I would be at like 8 or 9, and they'd be at like 11 or 12, and they'd play the Donald, and then I'd play a Tammy and get the dime for free and quest the tap the dime for like 14 plus quest all my people, and I was like, I go to 35
still. Yeah. But before we get into our outro, one thing I want the rules of villainy here want to say is for those who've seen it in the news, one of our dear content creators that we talk about a lot on this podcast, Podcana, has announced their ending, and cue the "We will remember you."
Big sad.
It's big sad. Like
it
I'll
is
let you take
very
Andy. I know it means a lot to you.
Sad, yeah. But I'll just say before I turn it over to Andy that I know I speak for it's like we wish Kawa the best of success in his new job and for the new TCG he's working on. And I know he's going to be at other events. And what a great thing that they brought together for that whole community, going all the way back with Brendan and Kawa and Moyen and how that has evolved over time. But I'll turn it over to Andy for anything else that you'd like to say.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just sad. Kawa did hint in the video that there might be a path forward for Podcana. Perhaps a lot of people have talked about just like someone new taking over. Podcana has had many forms. Didn't start with Kawa. It doesn't have to end with Kawa. So we'll see how that turns out. But I am very happy that I had the chance to meet all three of the OGs, if you will, Brandon and Moyen and Kawa, at various events. They're never all three in the same place at the same time. They've made that clear.
Yeah.
I met.
Well, it's like the like president vice president rules. They can't be in the same time at any. Otherwise, the whole thing enterprise collapses.
Exactly. But I finally finished my collection. I got Kawa to sign a legendary Diablo card. And so I've got Brendan sign my spell book and wrote 61 on it because it was my 61st card.
I remember you getting that. Yeah.
And I said that this is the worst card in my deck. I need you to sign it for good luck. And
you chase him to the bathroom for it, right?
Yeah, Moyen signed the Donald Duck for me, his favorite character, and a really, really cool art, the pie thrower one.
Yeah.
And so now I've got to get them all framed and put them up on my wall in the background here soon. So I'm really sad to see him go, but I really appreciate all of the stuff they've given to the community, because I wouldn't be the competitive player or the podcaster that I am today without the influence of them, for sure.
That's what I was going to say. I know it meant more to you. It started all with them for you especially, but I was going to say pretty sure the podcast, as Andy said, was inspired by Podcana. We all talked about it, and I wasn't big on content creation or watching a whole lot at the time. I mean, Vince was introducing me to Chicago that I did not know how prominent they were in the community, the greater community yet. And I know for this podcast, especially with Vince and Andy, that it all started with Podcana. So it is sad to see it go on that front, and hopefully in some way it lives on, and wish everybody there the best.
Yeah, that's that was the brief for our podcast was, what if Podcana was three noobs?
It was very much because Andy and I had listened to them, and I had also come back from a much earlier show with B Squared and Jaunty. They had done a podcast as well, and so I'd listened to both of those, and unfortunately both now are in the history.
A lot of day oneers. We're losing a lot of day oneers. It's
but you don't have to worry about us. We're going nowhere, okay? Nowhere.
Nowhere but to 1,000 subscribers. I want to see everyone out there hit the subscribe button. We have big plans for 1,000 subscribers, and it involves showing you ad-based content so that we make tons of money and become filthy rich, like the villains we are. I'm joking.
But yeah. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and let us know your thoughts on Villain of the Week. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're joining us on audio, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And I'll just add, did you know that you can actually write comments on Spotify? Because I tell you what, we got our creator Spotify Wrapped. Our most written episode with comments was in January of 2025, which, by the way, that just means that I'll need to write more comments so that next year our creator Spotify Wrapped shows more comments as the time goes on. But I'll take it back to you, Andy.
Yeah, and if you're joining us on YouTube, which if you're not, you really should. We have a lot of fun over here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of all of our fun content. Deck Test Tuesday, Meta Report, the 25 days of Villainy Advent, as well as Vince trying to pull an Enchanted. And we also got our YouTube Wrapped thing. Everyone seems to be doing one of those now. And I think there's 22 people out there who Rules of Villainy is their number one most listened to or watched channel on. So if you're one of those 22 people and you can prove it, and you see me at a DLC, I'll have something for you, okay? Or maybe at a bar after the DLC, I'll buy you a glass of lemon water.
I was going to say, subject to state law.
Terms and conditions apply, but come say hi. I really, you 22 people out there, we really appreciate you. watching and tuning in. So, and everyone else, all other of you that aren't those 22, better hit that subscribe button.
I was gonna say, to be fair, by the time folks have gotten to this point, nobody's listening.
If you are,
longest
better
outro
subscribe.
ever. Let me start by saying we understand your time is valuable, so we appreciate you spending some of it with us.
I've had to
If you
loop
would
the
like to
outro
follow
music
along
twice.
as we plot our devious plans, consider following us on our socials. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and the platform formerly known as Twitter @Rules of Villainy. We also have a growing community on Discord, which you can join with the link below.
Brad, you want to add some more to this outro? Because you're the only one that hasn't yet.
I'm speeding the whole thing up.
I'm good.
Brad's going to sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
All right, until next week, stay safe, fellow villains. Be wary of wannabe heroes who want to disrupt your villainous plans. And as always, remember the rules of villainy.